So my goal with this page is not only to just give you a bunch of workouts, but also to give you breakdowns of movements that I think are very useful, that I think will, enhance your training, give it another level of enjoyment because you're challenging yourself, especially through different planes of motion. Anyway, this is the cross body clean. I'm gonna go into a little bit deeper breakdown here, so enjoy. All right, so the movement's the cross body clean, and I love this movement to get some rotation, to practice throwing rotation. It's all about the pivot. We think that we have to provide strength when we rotate, but really the strength that you build with basic movements is going to be the engine that creates the power here. But then learning how to rotate forcefully, quickly, with a lot of speed, that's where you get that transfer of energy, where you can actually display that strength that you've built, doing deadlifts and squats and heavy kettlebell swings and things like that. So this is not necessarily building rotational strength, it's building your rotational aptitude, so being able to rotate quickly. And then on top of that, it's just fun. There's a way to add some variety in here that's going to challenge you. So what this exercise looks like, bell's in your erect position, you're going to come across your body, and then I want you to do a full pivot at that top position. Come back to that starting position, right back, full pivot. So I want to maximize that rotation, that pivot here. So the first thing we have to be able to do is we have to be able to pivot freely. Like if you understand pivoting, which is just moving on the balls of your feet, so I'm not keeping my heels planted and I'm not up on my toes, I'm going to have on the balls of my feet, so that way when I pivot, that's going to allow my hips to rotate. So it starts from the ground, works up to the knees, works up to the ankles, and thus then the torso. So the way that this movement can be broken down is we can just do with two hands, control, 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 across my body, control, 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 keeping it tight to my body, and then pivot. So now with this, I can add a little bit of speed, I can add a little bit of distance, but I can also add a ton of control to make sure that weight doesn't fly out and then catch and slam on my forearms. And then I blame kettlebells for all my bruised forearms when it was really just a lack of technique understanding. So let's go again. Let's go on the other side. Arm nice and tucked in that rack position. I'm going to allow my arm to come across and then pivot, across and pivot. So as you get better at this, you don't necessarily need to be breaking PRs and going maximum weight here. It's all about that fluidity of that transfer, to be able to move from across your body while maintaining tension and then creating speed as you rotate so that that bell can then come up and sit nicely on the forearm. So give this exercise a go. One of my favorite variations, I always incorporate some level of rotation, whether it's rotational dead start cleans, rotational cleans where I'm not rotating, not pivoting as much, but I love adding some level of rotation so that way I can utilize kettlebells for what makes them unique. So that way I can incorporate that into more conventional lifting, regardless of what my goals are, so that way I can move safely and effectively through all ranges of motions. So if you like that, let me know. I got some more breakdowns that I've got coming and some upcoming courses, because again, I'm not sitting here, and I think I say this on every freaking video, I'm not sitting here saying that kettlebells are the most important, the best tool that you can possibly use, but they're a really fun tool that will just enhance your training and help you work in different planes, work in different positions, work at different speeds that you typically wouldn't do. And just a way to add a level of enjoyment into your training that doesn't replace traditional lifting, but just enhances. Everything should enhance what you do. And for some people, I had a lot of clients where they didn't care about putting as much weight on the bar or lifting as heavy as possible. And a few kettlebells was all they needed, combined with some body weight training to really just feel their absolute best. So anyway, that's all. If you like this, let me know, and I'll see you on the next one.